Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Off the Rails. I am your host, Austin Train. We are, as always, taped in front of a live studio audience here at the Kursk Oblast in scenic Russia. Joining me, as always, my good friend, professional musician, and the man who hacked into the Social Security database, Brian Gower. Did you hear about this, Brian?
You seen this? No, I haven't. What's up?
You don't know about this? Somebody hacked into the government's I don't know what to call it, the government's database,
Yeah.
and stole. They've found every single American Social Security number.
Okay.
Every single one.
That's not good.
No, that's bad. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
I guess we're all equally compromised. So it's like, dude, if you want to spend above your means, now's the time. Like, my identity was stolen. Oh, do you know when? Oh, when you guys fucked everything up?
Yeah. You guys fucking all this shit up. Yeah. But, I mean, people are definitely loosey-goosey with their Social Security numbers anyways.
Are they?
Yeah. They're just like, oh, here's an email. You won a free, iPad. And then for scammers and shit like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I do work, when I was working customer service, people would just like, oh yeah, here for like a credit card information. It's like, oh, can I just give you my Social Security over the phone? I'm like, no, you shouldn't. You shouldn't give it to anybody over the phone.
How about your mother's maiden name?
What kind of car did you drive? Your first car?
Yeah. What's your first car?
Yeah, I know people just like. So I mean, and then that's another thing too, Joe. And another thing, people just on like Facebook. I'm like, hey, you're. It's like people don't remember their first car. Do you? And then people just start adding it. I'm like, you stupid fucks.
Oh wow. Yeah, I don't even have my birthday on Facebook. I think when I first set up Facebook, I set it intentionally to the wrong day.
Yeah.
And
you're like, they ain't catching this kid.
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking too smart. I mean, that's why I have a stage name. I was like, dude, no one will ever catch. What happened is, I remember there was a battle of the bands at my high school, and one kid's band, like it was him, and then the other three guys in the band went to different high schools. And they played the battle of the bands. They showed up like fucked up.
Yeah.
And they like broke a bunch of equipment and like it was very punk rock.
Yeah.
And then they like tracked them down using Facebook.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, I'll fucking hit them I'll change my name. No one will ever be able to find out all the hate crimes I've committed.
Yeah.
You know? No,
I'm a similar.
I mean, aren't all crimes hate crimes? Come on now.
Nobody commits a crime because they love somebody.
Actually, that's not true. Stalking,
crime of passion.
So yeah, like there's plenty of crimes of passion.
Passion.
Yeah.
No, I'm same way with like Facebook. I have my real name, but I'm like I don't have where I went to high school. I don't have my fucking job. I don't have my birthday.
The people at my high school reunion tracked me down. And send me an invite. I'm like, yeah, nice try, scammers.
Yeah. they give you
like, how did you find me?
A bill
like this
freshman year. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. You get a detention from like a drawing of penis in the men's restroom. They catch up with you. It's in your permanent record.
But I mean, like, and then like I have like friends who they're like, oh, when it's like, hey, when was your birthday? I'm like, oh, it was like last month. I'm like, it's like, oh, but I didn't see it on Facebook. I'm like, good.
Yeah.
You don't, and it's like, I have family members too. They try to add me. It's like, oh, they're my brother, or you're my nephew. I'm like, no, block it. I'm like, yeah, we don't need to be anything attached.
I don't like that. I never knew why people needed. I remember my
sister was like, why did you do that? And I'm like, because you don't need to be connected to me. And I'm like, I know you're my sister.
Yeah.
You can get a hold of me.
Why do we need other people to know this? You know? Like, what if... So here's the thing, dude. If I kill somebody's brother...
Yeah.
And they swear, like, revenge, now you're in trouble. See?
Yeah.
So then that's why we shouldn't be on... I had an ex-girlfriend who was like... I just never changed my Facebook relationship status.
Yeah.
And she was like, change your status. Zuckerberg needs to know who I'm fucking. And I'm like, that's weird.
I need that. I mean, that's kind of funny, but it's like I think I did it once, or like not once, but once I like finally made it Facebook official one time. My girlfriend's like thought it was like, oh, this is the best thing in the world. That's commitment. I'm like, we've been together for like a year.
Yeah.
It's like really changing it on Facebook is a big thing.
Yeah.
And then people are like, so with everything. I'm like, I have even coworkers that try and tag me in the job. I'm like, yeah, fuck off. Stop.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's what Facebook used to be more useful for stand-up stuff, but now it's like all through Instagram.
Yeah.
And so, I post very little on there. It's just not a good look. Like, honestly, and like then I have a lot of family feuds, and then when one side of my family sees me with somebody else, they're like, "What the fuck?
How dare you talk to him?" I mean,
Yeah.
what?
I'm like, okay,
What, my
it
family
just, like
member?
sets people off.
Uh-huh.
No, I have like some family members who, if they even like that, like I talk to pretty much everyone, but if they see me interacting with it, like they'll call me and like start complaining about them. And I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, what do you
Just shit talking.
Yes, you know what else they did, and like it's not my problem.
Yeah. But even just like people that I know or like have known, it's like the biggest one is like maybe like somebody I played a show with like 3 years ago. I'm like, yeah, I don't need to follow you on Instagram. Unfollow.
Yeah, I'll follow people so I can message them and then unfollow. I've like messaged people about doing shows in other towns and they didn't get back to me. I just unfollow.
Fuck them.
Yeah, because I'm like, I just wanted to message you. I can follow you again and try to message you, but like,
Yeah, I've had
if
it.
you don't follow me back, then I can't message you.
Have you ever had it to where it's like you try to message somebody about getting a gig, and then years later,
Yeah,
they message you about getting a gig? I'm like, yeah, I saw that you left me on red.
Oh no, I remember my friend Abby. When we went up to Canada, I hit him up about I didn't really know him that well at this point, but when we went up to Canada, it was like maybe 2016 or something.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Vancouver,
Yeah.
and so I hit him up, and then like 2 years later, he's like, "Oh, hey man, I just saw this. Can you help me get a show?"
I respect the move. I respect.
I don't know. He might have just. I mean, I'm sure I had met him. I just didn't know him particularly well.
Although plausible deniability. Sometimes if you message somebody who you're not friends with or whatever, it goes into like a separate folder
I know.
for you to.
I know.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, maybe they didn't see it, but most likely they fucking saw it.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm running into. Searching on Instagram, like you have to just like send a message request, and then like trying to message a comic who has like 50 million clips and none of them are funny, and then I'm like, hey man, can I do your bar show in Van Nuys?
These
And
clips
they're
are
like, I don't know, man. Like, I remember I sent somebody a clip one time and he put me on an open mic. And I was like, did I need to send you a clip to do this open mic?
yeah. It's all about those clips.
Yeah.
On IG. But
I posted some. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the algorithm. I'm not getting a lot of boost right now.
yeah, good luck. And if you find it, let me know, because it's like YouTube. Sometimes like even the podcast that we do, it's like sometimes they fucking hit. I'm like, what the I mean, your comedy.
I'm gonna just start paying money. It's like sponsor everything.
Yeah, you just one of these days we're gonna be in the black.
Yeah,
just thousands of dollars.
Yeah, well, I'll just use it as a tax write-off, and I'll spend so much money that I'm like, government, you have to pay me. Look at all this money I lost.
Yeah, but I did see you had like an Instagram kind of like almost like a little bit of a write-up for a show that you're doing tonight. And I saw that one of the credits was like host of Off the Rails podcast. I'm like, all right, that's cool. That's like mentioning the podcast for your
Are you making fun of me?
No,
Brian?
I'm saying that's cool that people are like paying attention to the pod. What we're doing, we're building something.
List anything as a credit.
Yeah,
I could literally just lie. I'd be like, Austin Train is a Southern California based comedian. He's the man who apprehended John Wilkes Booth after he shot Abraham Lincoln at the Ford Theater.
He stopped the T-1000.
Yeah, stopped the T-1000. Saved the future.
Yeah, John Connors.
He built the time machine out of a DeLorean.
The Libyans found him.
The Libyans found him.
Don't know how they found him.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I like how there's just like movies like that. There's just like terrorists just show up
in a Volkswagen,
and the terrorists just show up and they're like, let's go to this made up city called Hill Valley
Yeah.
in California. And we'll just we'll grab the most kooky looking guy we can find and be like, hey, can you
build us a bomb?
Can you build us a bomb? Like, how do you even meet those guys? That's the most unbelievable thing about Back to the Future is like, okay, there's no fucking internet. There's no dark web.
Yeah.
Like, how did these Libyan terrorists find him? Is there like a classified ad in the newspaper? They're like looking for a clock making expert.
Yeah. I was like, I gave him a bomb filled with faulty pinball parts. And I'm like, okay. They were like, and then how did they test that it didn't work? Did they drop it on?
Yeah, no,
somebody?
they probably they planted it in like some Marine barracks, and it just didn't explode.
It's a good movie though, despite its plot holes.
I saw the third one first, so
Really?
then everyone always talked about how bad the third one is. I was like, no, it's fine. Because if you see the movie that everyone says is the worst one in the series first,
Okay, yeah,
you never think it's that bad.
yeah,
Because it's like it's only bad compared to the other two.
mm-hmm.
Like it's just not as good. You know, it's like Godfather 3. If Godfather 3 was just a different movie called something else, people wouldn't think it was that bad. They'd be like, yeah, it's okay.
yeah. Like I saw, I think the second Back to the Future first, like as a kid, and obviously there's
That's
cool,
actually the one where they go into the future.
yeah, and it's like cool shit. Like you see, like hoverboards, and there's fucking flying DeLorean. Like that's cool. I like that. And it's like the future stuff. I'm like, man, this is sick.
Yeah.
And then so that
You see the first one, you're like, yeah, dude, he almost fucks his mom. Like, even better.
this has been talked about, but it's like I like how Biff is just like he like almost like basically rapes the guy, McFly's mom, and then he's like later on, 20 years later, it's like, oh hey, Biff is just washing our car.
Yeah, it was a different time.
It's like, hey,
it was a different time.
Keep your hands to yourself, pal.
No, I mean that's the crazy thing is that in movies, like racism is just fully like accepted in movies, but also like all kinds of sexual assault are just completely like trivialized in like most films.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, he gets a little handsy.
Yeah, it's just like
that's Biff.
Biffs will be Biffs.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, the whole thing about like kidnap. All of the stories are about like kidnapping a princess.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, you know why they're doing that, right? I mean, they're either holding him for ransom or some other reason.
Yeah,
that we might be able to figure out.
Makes you rethink Super Mario Brothers. God damn.
Well, I'm not worried about Bowser. He's a little turtle penis.
Yeah.
Turtles have sex in a weird way. From what I understand,
yeah, from my research.
Look, that's just what I've heard.
Yeah, people are talking about it.
People are talking about the turtles and their weird dicks.
Yeah,
human beings have the best penises.
The best. My favorite penises.
That's why we're the dominant species on the planet. We have the best penises. Mm-hmm. Everyone else's penises are either little or gross or both. Dog penises are little and gross.
Yeah.
Or they're too big. Whale penises.
Too big.
Too big. Horse dicks. Too big. That's why we have to enslave them.
Yeah. We need a bunch of them to pull our Budweiser.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're kind of mentioning about like, racism or whatever in movies and stuff like that. Even just like late 90s, it was listening to a stand-up comedy album. And it was John Panette. He's funny, fat guy.
John Panette?
Yeah.
Is it just Panette or is it Panetta?
I thought it was John Panette. Maybe it's John Panette. But anyways, he's the fat guy at like the last episode of Seinfeld, where he gets robbed.
Brian, I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of Seinfeld.
Really?
Like
okay. Anyways,
this isn't your other podcast, Brian.
Anyway, so
I know this guy.
Yeah. I'm like, oh,
he's dead.
Yeah. Damn.
I was gonna see if I could open for him.
He was gonna make it. Have him on the podcast. And then I'm like, half his act is just doing like racist impressions.
Now I'd really have to listen to this guy.
Of like restaurant owners, like because he's a fat guy, so the joke is like, oh, you're eating too much at the restaurant. So he's like, oh, I do an Indian guy, I do a Chinese guy, Japanese. I'm like, all right, that's half his act.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, at least you know your audience. It's like he'd get canceled nowadays. Look, good thing
I
he's
like
dead.
that that's on his album.
It's
Like that's not a riff on a podcast. That's his full album.
He's like, put it on wax. That's what we're doing. I'm super confident this will wow him.
That reminds me, there's a scene. So they made a spoof James Bond in the 1960s, and it's not Austin Powers. It's just James Bond.
Let's not get smart. Or
No,
Okay.
it's called Casino Royale. It's
Okay.
an adaptation of the actual. It's kind of like they ended up slapping two different movies together. They're making
Yeah.
one and making another, and they have Peter Sellers, who's like one of my favorite actors, but obviously it's the 60s, and some of his comedy is just like racism.
yeah.
There's actually a movie with Peter Sellers called The Party, where he's just an Indian guy who gets invited to a party, and they're like, "Isn't this wacky? Who would ever think to invite an Indian man to a party?"
Yeah.
And but then he's in brown face,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah,
like, and then in the Casino Royale, the 1960s one, they have Peter Sellers, and it's actually kind of it would almost be cool if like this part's pretty cool. Peter Sellers is like a fill-in James Bond, and then Orson Welles is playing like the Bond villain,
Okay.
and they're playing like Baccarat or whatever. And Orson Welles has all these like cool lines, and then Peter Sellers is like, well, you know what they say, and then he just does this like Chinese accent, and then he does it again with an Indian accent, and it's like you really just fucking shoehorned that one in there.
He just punches it up with another racist accent. Just ham-fisted accent. And you're like, oh, what about this, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times.
Good
Yeah.
times. Orson Welles rule. You ever seen an Orson Welles movie, Brian?
I don't think so. Isn't it like,
He did Citizen Kane.
that's okay.
He did a lot. He directed a lot of movies, and he also acted. And then also he was known to be this big, fat, gluttonous guy.
Yeah.
And there's actually, he started doing like wine commercials in the 70s. He got blacklisted by Hollywood, and he went to other countries to like make movies, but he had to like try to drum up money himself, and so he'd do commercials.
Yeah.
And there's like a commercial. Well, he would do acting for other like directors, and then also he did commercials. And then there's one commercial where he's like advertising a wine,
Yeah.
but he's actually drinking it. Like, so, like in a lot of shots,
Yeah.
you pretend to eat, you pretend to drink. In this one, he's actually just drinking the wine, and so they show you the takes, and he's just fucking blitzed by the last one. He's like, it pairs quite well with lamb.
It's like you're just drinking.
He's just hammered, dude. And then he would like smoke cigars all the time, and then he would live off his rich friends. And I was watching a movie about the last movie. They made a documentary about the last movie he ever made, and he's editing. He's in his like young protege's like house in the guest bedroom, and he's locked himself in the room, and is just like they bring him food, and he's editing the movie, and then he accidentally like starts a fire because he's just like smoking cigars, and they're like, don't smoke in the house, Orson, and then like he hears him walking up, and he just puts the cigar into his bathrobe, and it catches fire.
Fuck. Cigars smell is
They fucking stink, dude. I mean,
it's pungent.
well, I mean, imagine the crazy thing is to me, it's like how bad did everything smell like 30 years ago, even,
Yeah.
or like 50, like deodorant wasn't. We have very advanced deodorant technology.
Yeah.
And you could smoke inside, and people would smoke cigars.
People smoke in their houses.
Yeah, imagine how much everyone just must have smelled like shit for most of human history.
Yeah. It wasn't that long ago, like 90s for sure. Everybody just smoking inside, no problem.
I don't know if everybody is, because
Or if you did smoke.
yeah. I mean, I remember some places they're smoking inside, but
But I know I've seen like people who have like bought houses, and then it's like they you could see like the cigarette, like the smoke on the walls of just like
Yeah.
people just like they're just sitting in their house just ripping.
Just ripping heaters.
ripping heaters.
Yeah.
And Kyle, when he bought his house in Texas, he has like a kind of like a back kind of garage in his backyard, which is separate from the house, and that's definitely probably where somebody just sat in there and just watched TV and just like
Oh, for sure.
because he's like the walls are yellow. He's like,
Oh, yeah.
because they redid the house inside the house, but that back
Dad's
one,
got to go out and do. Oh, I got to go work on the car.
he's just drinking whiskey and just heater city.
Just blasting smokes.
Yeah, which, not too bad.
Yeah.
Good way to live.
I think I have to stop vaping. I don't know. Can you hear my throat? Can you hear my voice?
Yeah, sounds.
It
sexy.
doesn't. It sounds sexy. It
like
actually sounds kind of cool,
Ladies?
but like, yeah, I just got over being sick, and
I bet you're still like vaping while you're sick.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I I also just like when I first got sick, I just plowed through it, and I was like, I'll be better in a few days, and then it like lasted for 3 weeks, and I was like, oh, it's.
This is an
I
ongoing
finally,
saga.
I hate canceling shows, and I finally canceled like a weekend of shows.
Yeah.
And just tried to rest, but then it kind of would like come and go still. Like I was just getting like really bad. It's got to be from the vaping. I was getting really bad headaches.
I was gonna say, do you get like shit sleep? Is it, or are you just not?
No,
sleeping?
I was sleeping a lot, dude.
Okay.
I slept like 11 hours one day. I went to bed at 9 and I got up at like 7:30.
Yeah. All right,
I just was like, I'm gonna sleep this off, and then I woke up and like, nope, I still feel like shit.
like, yep. Did
I don't know. I
nothing.
get health anxiety a lot. I always think like I'm gonna. This is the thing is like when I was younger, it felt like it was impossible to die, and now it feels like it's like super easy to die.
Yeah, and then shit just like starts hurting, and you're like, oh, when it's well trodden territory. But as you get older, it's like I'm like 36. I'm like, oh, just my like ankle hurts. Like I didn't twist it. I don't think.
Yeah, my
Like,
back
this-
started hurting.
This sucks, dick.
Yeah, my back started like I felt better this morning, and then like then my back hurt for some. I'm like, what? I didn't even do anything.
Yeah, and then how just things can just like fuck you up, and then it's like not having good enough sleep, and then it's all a crapshoot too. Because I can have 6 hours of sleep. I'm like, I feel fucking great.
Yeah,
Because if it's like, or I'm like,
the deep sleep.
oh, I slept for 12 hours. I feel like shit.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, you can oversleep, I think,
yeah,
and then it's like when your body comes out of the REM cycle. It's like if you're woken up abruptly, like there's the it has to like you go from one cycle to like the deep sleep,
yeah,
and then you have to like slowly come out.
yeah.
But if you get woken up abruptly, I think it throws the cycles off.
Yeah, I was trying to like think of like what's the best like situation for my sleep, so I'm trying to build that up. I want it like completely pitch black.
Yeah.
The blackout curtains, they do a good job. And then I'm thinking, I'm like, well, what if I also wear like eye mask?
Oh, I gotta wear the eye mask
Okay.
now. Just the feeling of weight over my eyes too.
Mm.
I gotta get a new one. Mine smells like shit. Like I'm for sure. Like I tried to wash it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can get like you just like. Especially if you're drinking and shit, the sweat your body produces just like I smelled it the other day. I was like, oh my god,
Like this smells
disgusting.
like fucking whiskey sour. God damn.
No, it just smells like decaying body.
Yeah, just like a dead.
Yeah, it smells like a dead animal.
Yeah,
Just funky.
yeah. Okay. So now I'm thinking of like
Yeah, I gotta get a new one. I should just order one.
eye mask. And then I did this. This was hotness, like probably about 3-4 years ago. Never got on it, but it was like a weighted blanket.
Oh, the weighted blanket. I heard it's very comforting. Like
Yeah.
they give it to people if they're having anxiety and shit like that.
He said my drummer's wife. He said he's like, oh, she wanted to get it. We got it. And he's like, it's actually pretty dope. Like
The weighted blanket.
yeah. So I'm just like everything to like better sleep. And I'm trying not to like just be dependent on crap, but I'm like, I was like looking at something. Oh, if you're having trouble sleep, try melatonin. I'm like, all right. I'm like, get it at Sprouts. I'm like, you grab one of
I
these.
do melatonin.
And
I don't know. If you go on and off, like after a while, you get used to melatonin. But like when you first start it, you get intense dreams.
okay.
You get like crazy dreams.
Yeah, I think I, still, not to like bring it back to it, but still about 2 weeks of no drinking. That with like actually like getting good sleep. I'm like, oh, this is sick.
There we go.
That paired with a CPAP. All right.
Yeah, you look a little slimmer already.
It
Or maybe
sucks.
maybe
'cause
you're
I'm-
just wearing a bigger T-shirt.
No, this is still large.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten to the X. No X's yet.
you've
So-
never worn an XL.
I have back in the day for sure.
Oh, okay.
When I was like a 12-year-old, I was like fat fucking
Yeah,
porker.
you're pretty fat.
I mean, I'm fat now, but hey, I'm a man.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was a fat boy and I'm a fat man.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Oh, how you've grown.
Yeah. It sucks. I mean, like I said, it sucks because I'm like, it's just not drinking. I haven't done shit. Like, I haven't hit like the gym or anything. Like, because I'm like, I gotta find time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking watch YouTube instead.
Yeah.
Which I could do that at the gym. I get it. But and then people just like, oh, you look better. I'm like, fuck, just not drinking. Bud
Yeah,
Lights.
no, it's. I mean, especially when you drink every day, it like adds up.
Yeah,
But
just, I
you
mean,
can go back to being a drunk anytime, Brian.
yeah, I'm ready. Pull that cord, ready to go. But yeah, it's just like getting, like I said, I can get good, decent sleep if I like set it up correctly. It'll be pitch black, and then get it like 6.5 hours of sleep. I'm actually pretty good. If
I always wait. I don't know. I always wake up to piss. Even if I don't really have to piss that bad, I still can't go to sleep until I get up and piss.
Yeah,
it's so weird. Like I don't feel like it. Like this crazy pressure. My body's just like, yeah, you should do something so we can go back to sleep.
Well, I've been. Yeah, it seems like it's revolving around my life here, but it's like just the habit of like sitting and watching and drinking something. So I'm just drinking these sparkling waters, and then I'm drinking a ton of them like right before I go to bed.
Yeah.
So I have been waking up and pissing like a couple times, and that sucks.
Oh yeah, well you're drinking straight water. Yeah.
And then my buddy Kyle, he's like, oh, he's just trying to tease. He's like, oh, there's some side effects, bad things about drinking, sparkling water, they say. And he's just joking around. It's like, oh, it weakens your bones. I'm like, that's not true. And I'm like, and then it got in my head. I'm like, is it? And I Googled it. I'm like, is sparkling water bad for you? Because of course, I like one thing I jump into is like drinking like 2 of these a day. I'm like, it's not. It's just
Hey, Brian. What's your mother's maiden name?
Yeah, it's just freaking out.
What's your first car you owned, Brian?
And then I go, and then it's like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, well, what are the side effects? What are bad? And then there is one, so you had to go scroll an article with it. It's like, and I'm like, I finally get to the bottom after all these ads and shit like that. And then
too many articles.
Oh yeah, you that ads and shit like that, or they talk about their whole life story. Like, fuck, bro, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. It's like when my mother fled Somalia in the 1980s. She worked at a sparkling water factory.
My mother's maiden name when she bought my first car, my dog Sparky, which was a yellow lab.
Yeah. That's the thing I hate. Like, I just want one answer.
Yeah.
And the internet, now the answers you're getting are worse, it feels like.
Yeah, it's AI shit.
Yeah, it's like, look.
It's like people
you'll
also
get
ask
one,
this.
and then you'll get another one, like, this is complete opposite, but they're both from Reddit. So it's like, all right, can we maybe get the Mayo Clinic in on this? Maybe before we ask fucking 4chan, we can check in with
the Mustard Clinic.
Yeah, the St. Jude's Children's Hospital for this fucking,
Yeah, but when I finally got to like what the negative side effects of sparkling water is, it'll make you burp.
That's it?
Yeah. No, you shitting me? Okay.
Well, yeah, that's kind of, it's sparkling. It's carbonated.
It's
of
carbonated.
course it'll make you burp.
Thanks, dickheads.
Yeah. The subtle dangers of sparkling water.
It might make you embarrassed because you'll burp.
Yeah, you might get a little bit embarrassed.
Some dickhead.
Honestly, I think shit like that should be censored. I think listicles should be censored, and the people who write them should be in jail.
It's like, yeah, almost
because
like,
you don't do anything. Like you're not doing anything cool or good. You're just generating traffic to your shit website.
Yeah, the information that I want is hidden behind bullshit.
But it's not even the information you want. It's a red herring.
Yeah,
you have to go somewhere else. Like you waste all your time going through this. Mm-hmm. So again, censorship, and then also jail.
Jail the people I don't like.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Here's the thing. I'm like this would work in politics if you're like, hey, I don't really know a lot about foreign policy. I don't understand fiscal policy, but if you vote for me, I will kill every single telemarketer. I will literally purge them from this earth.
Yeah.
You would win. You'd win in a landslide.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just promise to do political violence against the worst people, and then you get to be the president.
Yeah.
And that's why you should vote for me this November.
Any telemarketer.
I think I probably could win more votes than RFK.
Okay.
I think I could. we have a fucking secondary debate, and I'm just like talking circles around him because he can't talk.
Yeah. And then he's like, that's it. He takes his shirt off, and then you do a push-up contest. You're like, all right. Here we go.
Is he still jacked?
Yeah.
I got to get back into shape. I've been sick.
Yeah.
Actually,
that's what you say. I've been sick. I'd be like, oh shit. Well, you gotta get.
I'd be like, hey, at least I could talk. This motherfucker can't even talk.
Look at him. He can't even talk.
He's like,
You just make fun of him.
kill me. Did you hear the story about they keep on posting weirder and weirder shit? So like RFK Jr., like, you know, knew Epstein, obviously, you know, he's the rich elite.
Yeah.
He's friends with OJ. The brainworm thing. But then also he ran, like, there was a bear. There's some weird story. Somebody had run over a bear in like New York, and he picked the bear up and put it in his car because he was going to like use the meat.
Okay.
He was gonna like skin it and then use the meat from this roadkill bear, and then he decided not to because he was like flying out that day. He had nowhere to put it, and so then he set it up in Central Park to make it look like a bike had run over the bear. And I was like, this is an absurd story.
Just Dave Mirra, bunny hops it.
Yeah, just
radical.
Yeah, that's how you get the secret tape.
Yeah.
In Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX.
Yeah. Dave Mirra, that was a fun game.
There was Dave Mirra, right? So they did Tony Hawk, and then they came out with Dave Mirra, and then they did Matt Hoffman for Activision. The same people who did Tony Hawk did Matt Hoffman Pro BMX.
Never played that one.
They made a Razor scooter one.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, you guys are really scraping the fucking barrel here, huh?
Yeah, the fact that they did an inline skating one. Like, you could push the boundaries with
Which one's worse, inline skating or I think scooters are worse.
Yeah. Inline skating was first, for sure.
Rollerblading is like super... It actually is very difficult.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like, especially the shit those guys are doing. Like, they're just doing skateboarding shit on blades.
Yeah. And then... Yeah, never rollerbladed.
Because you're fucking tied into those. Like, the skateboard, you can kind of jump off.
Yeah.
A bike, you're kind of, like, logged in, but, like, it gives you a level of, like, it may absorb some of that crash. But rollerblades, dude, you can't just bail on those. You fucking just go straight down.
Yeah, it's like you fall. Like, getting up seems like a pain in the ass.
It was funny to call people gay for doing it, but they are, you know, it's like, if you're doing that, it's cool.
Yeah.
You know who I hate are roller skaters. I tried going roller skating recently. Like, I remember being able to do it, and it's, like, really hard. And then there's these fucking kids there. Like, the kids who work there are, like, they get on their break, and they're just, like, zooming around trying to make people fall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'll fucking catch your ass in the parking lot, dog. I'll beat your ass.
But as a teenager...
You embarrass me in the roller rink, dude, I'll murder you.
That's probably gotta be...
I'll eat you alive.
I'll kill you.
I'll kill you, dude. Here's the thing. This podcast is about one thing. It's about what is your mother's maiden name and me threatening my political adversaries or roller skating adversaries.
Yeah, if you want to leave a review of the podcast, just put your social security number, the last 4 digits.
Yeah, you're the first make it a make and model of first owned vehicle.
Yeah,
and your favorite elementary school teacher.
Just every security password. God
damn.
damn.
You remember
your first grade teacher's name?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah. Well, we're not gonna talk about it, but
they stink.
They stink. RT, we remember that we had have we talked about our big fat kindergarten teacher?
I mean, we may have. But
We've talked about it.
Let's hit him again.
Let's hit this bitch again.
Fuck her up.
Let's get this bitch, dude. Yeah, she stole cookies.
It's like
out of the lunch. Yeah, that was fucked up.
Yeah,
I remember one of our teachers called us ninnies, which I was like, "Oh, you mean pick a ninny? Oh, you're racist, dude." And then we got her. We canceled it. No, I don't know. You know what? We went to like a weird little private.
Yeah, like kind of like kindergarten through middle school.
Yeah. It was called Our Lady of Perpetual Menstruation. You thought I was gonna give it up, but you were wrong. I'm not gonna tell you any of this personal information.
Yeah.
half of this is all just made up. It's a fever dream.
This podcast is all about just doxing each other.
Yeah, we're just doxing.
But yeah, we talked about it as a kid. I remember like one day I'm like, okay, because I was like, oh, I have cookies for lunch. I'm gonna save that for when I get home. And I'm like, what the fuck are they? I'm like, what the hell? I remember like being 5 years old. I'm like, no, I remember we had them. I had them, and my mom's like, you probably ate them. And I'm like, fuck, did I? And I'm just like, I start spiraling.
Your mom's gaslighting you, dude.
she didn't know. She didn't know that
you
bitch was
never
eating.
anticipate that a teacher would eat. Like, look, teachers molesting kids is one thing.
Yeah.
Teachers eating the children's cookies.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother level of evil.
Yeah. Could you get rationed that shit?
Yeah.
Your mom's not going to give you more cookies. Like, oh, you already had some for lunch.
Also, you're an adult. You can just buy cookies, dude.
Yeah. Maybe she's jammed up money-wise. She's like, I'm on hard times. I can't afford.
I remember when I went to high school, I forget what her name was, but there was this teacher. She was like, everyone was like, she's a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And she's real nasty. And she was a black lady, and she'd wear wigs. And it was like, they're very obviously wigs because it's like silver.
Yeah.
It's like bright blonde.
Yeah.
And she's like old. And I remember I walked out of her summer school class because I missed the first 2 days. And I told them, like, hey, I'm going to miss the first couple of days. Can I still come? And they're like, yeah, sure. And then I show up. And they're like, you're not in this class. You missed the first 2 days. And I was like, I literally talked to them. And then I walked out. And I put my hat on. She's like, take that hat off. And I was like, you can't. I'm not in the class.
Yeah.
You can't tell me what to do. I'm not in the class anymore.
Yeah.
And then she I think, and then the next year, she had specifically requested me.
Yeah.
And then I showed up late, and then she like wrote
that you.
And then she like wrote me a referral. Like she was just laying in wait.
Yeah, she just on
to
your
get
ass.
me back.
Yeah.
But it was like I fucking asked the people if I could miss the first few days, and it was summer school.
Okay, yeah.
So I was like on vacation, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, sure." And then she's like, "You're not in the class. You missed the first few days." I'm like, "Okay."
So what the hell do you do after that?
Yeah. I put my hat back on, and then I hung out with a homeless guy. I didn't call my parents to come pick me up. I walked around La Jolla and started talking to this homeless guy named Henry.
Yeah. So we're boys at this point.
I don't know. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
What if that was my security question? It's
Yeah.
like, what was the name of the homeless man you befriended
in summer school
after you got kicked out of summer school
by some dumb bitch?
By a dumb bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I had some teachers in high school that were just like, I remember one that just like, this class was just rambunctious. It was nuts. Nobody paid attention. Nobody did anything. And then the teacher one day just stopped showing up to school.
Really?
And then she just never came back. And I'm like, well, this class is fucking a bunch of hellions. And I'm like, well, I'm like, whatever. At least I'll probably never learn anything in this class. But I'm like, I need to get a grade, right?
Yeah.
And then for like maybe a couple weeks, I had just a bunch of like substitutes and trying to like wrangle these kids. And then finally it's like, oh, you have a new teacher. And he was like, oh God, who's coming in here? It's like a new teacher. Thought it was going to be similar to like the old one. Banging. This teacher was hot as hell. Smoke show.
That's how you get the kids to pay attention.
Huge cans. And she was young. I'm like, and everybody was like, best fucking behavior.
Yeah.
And even like the kids that were like, oh, like I'm showing off and I'm class clown, they're like, guys, can you shut up for the teacher, please? everybody like checked everybody's like, people who were like, they throw books in class, like textbooks, and just
Who was the teacher first? It was just some shy, nerdy guy.
No, it's this that's I guess kind of reminded me of like older black woman. And she just kind of like grandma old. Like she was like,
that's awful.
And I'm like, God damn, you guys are fucking rude. And it was like within instantly this, new hot teacher came, and then it was everybody straightened up and flied right.
Wow.
They were just
that's the key.
Because they were trying to like, she's not gonna fuck a 14-year-old.
You don't know that.
And then, well, because when you're that young, you're like, man, maybe.
Yeah.
I am on the football team.
Dude, if
these kids.
If I crush this thesis, I might get some pussy, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, she's not just
like, your penmanship is outstanding. Let's talk about your penismanship.
Just what you think.
Dude, teachers fuck students sometimes.
Yeah, you're right. But it's like, as a kid, you're thinking like, man, I hope I get raped by this hot teacher. When you're 14, you're like, hey, it could happen.
Look, I know a lot of people. There was always the jokes. People were like, I wish my teacher would fuck me, and then people, rightfully so, were like, well, that's gross.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: I do think, and I've said this before, and I have a joke about it. It's bad.
Yeah.
But it's less bad if she's hot.
Yeah.
Dude, if you're ugly, if you're a man, it's fucking across the board wrong. But if you're a woman and you're ugly, firing squad. just straight up, dude. You're fucking gone, dude.
Drawn and quartered.
Yeah, if you're hot, okay, you get probation, right? Maybe you get some community service. But I definitely think it is less bad if she's an attractive woman.
Oh, yeah.
Look, it's bad. Like, you shouldn't fuck teenage boys, but as a woman, as a man, for sure you shouldn't, because we will kill you.
Yeah.
This is the thing. There's female sex offenders get way more.
Yeah.
They get way more. I want to say like more. Was it carte blanche? No, not carte blanche. Not fully, but like a little bit more, less like violent retribution.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? And male sex offenders just immediate death. Female sex offenders. Female sex offenders go, oh, look, well, are you hot?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not, fucking gas chamber.
You're going with the dudes.
Yeah, you're fucking in with the dudes. If you're kind of hot, all right, we're going to rehabilitate you, right? We're going to put you in a Swedish prison. And here's the thing. If you don't like that, then don't. Look, it's not a problem for you.
Because it would be a terrible
world. You
world.
don't sleep with kids.
Yeah,
you know?
learn your lesson, dumb
Yeah,
bitch.
unless and if you're a hot woman who does it, it's bad, but it's not the worst thing.
I'm sure you can learn from it.
Dude, that kid's gonna have such good confidence the rest of his life, dude. You get your dick sucked by a hot teacher. If it's an ugly teacher, I just want to say this again. We will fucking kill you.
Yeah. If you're an uggo.
Bitch, if you ugly, you touching these kids, I will fucking cut your throat, dude.
Because you can't make the world a worse place with like one less hottie.
Yeah. We can't. Look, she made a mistake. Maybe we can, rehabilitate her.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
But dude, if you're ugly, no rehabilitation.
Yeah. Yeah, I think about like just high school, and it was like a lot more that you could have just like. I mean, I thought about it. I'm like, oh, you could have just like fucked off a lot more. But I was just like in my head, I'm like, well, yeah. I don't know. I'm like, I need to get A's, I guess. It did nothing for me. I fucking graduated and I work. That was what I did. I'm like, I didn't fucking need to like get an A or B.
No. I remember when I went to school, I actually was like a pretty good student. And my first year, I got like 3.0.
Yeah.
And I made honor roll. And then it was very because I went to a new school. I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
We were at a small school. Then I went to like a public high school.
Yeah.
With a bunch of rich kids. And like we didn't know anybody. I was like, I didn't really get bullied because I've been the same height since I was like 12 or 13.
Yeah, I think like I think we were like same. It's like we were 11 and we're like, dude, we're gonna be fucking huge.
Yeah,
we're gonna slam. And then no, that was.
But
it.
I had facial hair,
Yeah.
so I didn't really get bullied. I just kind of didn't really know anybody. I was like kind of nervous and scared and awkward. And I made honor roll, and then my dad looked at it and he was like, "Well, this is like the worst you should do." And then I was like, "Okay, is that a challenge?" And then I proceeded to get worse and worse grades.
It's like, oh, a 3.0? What's less than that? A 1.5.
Yeah, like literally such a bad move on his part to tell me that. He was like, look, and then also, dude, my freshman year was so miserable because I, didn't really know anybody. I'm like showing up to school in like basketball shorts.
Yeah.
And then every other weekend I'd have to go to my dad's with my stepmom. And then I was like, this is off. Like, I want to die. This is terrible. And then I remember our friend was like, yeah, just like lay on the bed and tell them you don't want to go. They can't force you. And I was like, oh shit, dude, you're a genius.
Do
You're
nothing.
the smartest guy. No, like just tell them I don't want to go. Because it was like, dude, I have to like take the train up Friday, get out of school, and then take the train to fucking Orange County.
Yeah.
That's so, like, there's nothing in Orange County. Orange County is awful.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate our Orange County listeners. But, I mean, I don't know, from San Diego to Orange County, like, I just, and then also, like, I couldn't really go anywhere when I was with them.
Yeah.
Like we would go do something fun, and then my stepmom would lose her temper, and I would get yelled at. Like all Saturday night, I would just get yelled at. And they're like, how come you don't want to live with us? I'm like, fucking, why do you think? What do you fucking think?
You take the train. All right. Time to clock in and get bitched at for 24 hours and then go back home.
So, yeah, I was like, dude, I was so miserable. And then I found out about weed, dude. And then every fucking, the world changed.
Yeah. You're like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I remember just in high school, like trying to make friends because I was like, okay, cool. It's a similar situation. I'm like, I knew maybe like 2 people in my high school, and I'm like, okay, I guess I just have to make friends with anybody trying to. And then I'm like, I remember it was like the like punk kids at school. I'm like, cool. I mean, I like the same fucking bands, and I play music too.
Yeah.
And then trying to just like talk to them, and then just it's basically you're gay, and I'm like, I play bass too. I'm like, no, yeah, I don't need to talk to you. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah,
like,
you're trying.
It was just like, yeah, it's like, hey, I like music. We're musicians, and I'm like, okay. And then I stopped trying. I'm like, I ended up becoming friends with band nerds, like in orchestra. Kind of.
Oh sure.
And I'm like, they were fucking fun. I'm like, yeah, fuck these kids who are trying to be cool. They suck dick, and guess what? They fucking really suck dick. And then I think one of the guys ended up blowing.
What do you mean? Are you saying they're gay?
No, they just sucked. I mean, okay, I didn't mean literally suck dick. It's just like they never got shit together.
No, they never did.
It's like
anything.
their band didn't. Now I'm like, I'm 36 years old. Their high school band sucked.
Yeah.
I'm like, we played Soma. Like they like played a high school party, and I thought that was the coolest thing. And I'm like, man, fuck, if I could get a band together and play a party, that'd be cool. We never played parties. We played like we played venues, and we opened up for like we were in high school, like opened up for like national acts, and people were like, oh, so your band still sucks. And until we got like a good show, they're like,
yeah, they don't give a fuck.
And then they're like, oh no, your band's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh cool, because you're like whatever.
Yeah,
It gets to a point
they
where
switch their tune very quickly when they're like, oh, can I get something?
yeah, it's like, oh, can my band open it? I'm like, nah, sorry, spot's filled. Which again, I have no pull. I'm not booking at someone, but it was just like a thing like that. It's like trying so hard to like make friends until I got to a point where it's like, I'd just be friendly with people. And then like, I mean, I went to school with Kyle, so it's like we became friends. I'm like, fuck it, let's start a band, fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And then, but I just remember that initially, like because I'm like, oh, cool. Like the first like month or so at high school, I'm like, yeah, they're the punk kids. I'm a punk kid. Let's talk.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
that's
no,
not how it is.
no, of course not. It's like, why?
No,
have
because you wanted it too bad. You should have just showed up and were like, hey, I was gonna ask you to be friends, but then I remembered that you're gay.
yeah, and they're like, oh shit.
You're like, God, this guy's the coolest.
That's pretty.
I mean,
much.
also when you're a teenager, you hate yourself, and so if anyone's too nice to you, you immediately distrust them.
Yeah.
Like even people like that, it's like they don't really like themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I don't know, trying to make friends with people. High school was like tough. I played football, but I never really bonded with people by playing sports. Like when I played baseball, I never bonded with anybody playing. Like that's how a lot of people made friends that I just didn't really. I don't know what it was. But I remember there's like some punk kids. There's like some crust punk kids. And one of these guys, he was like the funniest guy. And I really looked up to him. He had a band called Ass Carnation.
I remember you mentioning it.
And then I always thought he was like, oh, this guy's so cool. And then he's at a bar after we do a comedy show. And he's like talking to us. There's like me and 2 other comics.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to sell us Coke. And I was like, yeah, man, I really don't want your Coke.
Yeah.
Like for sure, I'm like looking at how you're dressed. You do not have good Coke, dude. And then I was like, oh, wow. Like, it turns out it's not even like I'm super cool, even though I am.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I parked Joe Rogan's car.
Yeah.
You wish you had my life. But none of that matters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't even matter now. Like, look at the richest people in the world. Like, Elon Musk tries so desperately to get people to like him. And it's like, who cares?
Uh-huh. Yeah. No,
You know, like, what do you like? Mark Zuckerberg had to hire a PR team to like redo his image.
Yeah.
And so, like, they showed him wakeboarding with like an American flag, and it's like clearly know what you're trying to get people to like you. Like, this is very transparent.
Yeah. It's like just live your life. Like you have millions of dollars, you're fine. Just fucking...
It's like if a woman ignored you forever, and then she saw that you won the lottery, and then she's like, "Oh, do you want to go?" Get in the hot tub. You're like, I fucking know your game, bitch.
I mean,
like,
depends on like. I mean, what does she look like?
Which is clear. I'm clearly implying that it's a woman who you're attracted to.
I know.
And then she changes her tune when she wants something.
And you're like, man, I know your game, but let's go. I'm all in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's like, wow, what crazy luck. He won the lottery and found the love of his life.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That happened. That's happened to me in comedy, where like a girl like will see, or a woman.
Mm-hmm.
A woman will like, I remember a few times like some lady would be like mean to me, and then she'd see like I was like hosting the open mic. She'd be like, hey. I was like, bitch, it's just an open mic.
Like, that's all it takes. Open my God.
Yeah. Well, some women are very
She sees in your wallet you have 3 ones, and she's like, holy shit, this guy.
look at this. Look at this guy.
fucking
Fucking
money
high
bag.
roller.
He wants to hang out with Elon Musk.
Yeah. This guy must have a lot of Dogecoin.
$3. It's like, holy shit.
There's nothing compared to all of the Naruto coin that I possess. The Naruto dollars.
Just fake money you just make up.
It is funny how much fake money there is. There's Monopoly money, there's Disney dollars, right? Bitcoin. Everyone just ran with the idea of currency.
Cole's cash.
Cole's cash. Cole's cash. Hold on, I'm thinking.
There's all those like
Knott's Berry Farm pesos.
Dave and Buster's bucks.
Oh, is that just Dave and Buster's bucks?
Well, you put it on a card.
Okay.
Dave and Buster's pretty sick. How stupid it is. I'm like, it's actually fun.
I love Dave and Buster's. I still like Dave and Buster's. People make fun of it, but it's like, okay, there's drinks and video games. Like, what's wrong with it?
Yeah, and crappy food.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's like I got to go to a dive. Like, look, if I don't, I mean, that's the perfect place too if you want to go to a bar but don't drink. It's like, yeah, let's just go play video games.
Tons of distractions.
What's wrong with video games? Like I don't know. It's just a snobby thing where it's like, look, it's fine.
Easy. Yeah, easy money. Just get some, some soda and play some games.
Some soda.
And
I almost thought you were saying Sudafed.
Get some Sudafed.
Dude, you fucking
just get allergy medicine.
Dude, you can get fucked up off allergy medicine, and then you play Rampage World Tour, dude. You get through all 130 levels.
Yeah, we talked about it. It's such an easy, like, dumb game, but it's like fun as fuck. Just we marathoned it. We're like, oh yeah, this is good. All right, time for some Little Caesars, isn't it?
Oh yeah, those are the days, dude.
Yeah. Just fucking crazy bread, fucking all sport, all you need.
Yeah.
Just carbonated sports drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, bubbles in it. Put it.
Yep. Those are the days.
Yeah.
A big stack of Playboys. I can't find them anymore. I don't know. They must have thrown them away.
No way.
No, I remember one kid came over and started like cutting them up and like making like little mini jerk off booklets, and I'm like, don't. That's not yours.
Yeah, no, I remember your Playboy stash was,
I might still have it somewhere.
It's a good amount. That was at the age, I think we were like, what, 12, something like that, or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like the idea of like, oh, because it's like, at the time it was like celebrities would just go into Playboy. I'm like, oh yeah, you can watch, I'm pretty sure every celebrity's naked in Playboy. Let's just go through the archives. Yeah. You're just looking for it.
Yeah. You're like Ingmar Bergman. Who else is a Barbara Walters?
Lucille Ball.
Actually, Barbara Walters was she was hot back in the day.
It doesn't.
Barbara Walters?
Yeah, I don't know why it's not coming to my mind.
She was a news lady?
Gotcha. I'll check it out.
Yeah, Brian's so fucking. This is how ignorant Brian is. You just say news, like, yeah, well, I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, is that an anime? Oh, is the news an episode of Seinfeld?
Show that ended fucking 15 years. No, God. Yeah, probably like.
So you like Seinfeld more than Curb?
Oh yeah. Curb's good for sure, but I'm like I think rewatchability for sure is Seinfeld. Another one that's rewatchability high up there. Not Curb, but Trailer Park Boys. Completely different show, but it's just like in my same vein of like put on something just to like let's start this over again, this journey.
Well, let's see. Trailer Park Boys. let's see if they who is so Bubbles is Kramer, and then
Well, he's more of the straight man.
Bubbles.
Yeah.
Is he Jerry?
I'd say
Well, there's no fourth one though. Who'd be the fourth one? They don't have a fourth. Mr. Leahy.
J-Rock, baby.
No,
Yeah,
J-Rock.
he's not. Yeah.
J-Rock's not even close.
Leahy, probably.
Leahy.
I think maybe
the shit winds.
Robbie-
Oh, the shit winds are blowing, Ricky.
You shit yourself, Mr. Lee. Or you piss yourself, Mr. Lee. He just gets drunk.
Yeah.
He falls down the stairs.
Did you keep watching it? Because it's like I felt like when they brought it back from Netflix, I'm like,
Not as good.
I think we, like, I don't know if you could keep going with this premise. Like, I think we've done it.
Mm-hmm. I think when they ended it,
They should have just come back as Trailer Park Men.
I think they're still
And then
doing it.
they go to trailer parks and then like flip them. And it's a reality show. And they go there and they're slumlords.
It's like
and
Property
they kick
Brothers.
it's like Property Brothers, dude.
But with Trailer Park.
Yeah, but they kick everyone out.
Uh-huh.
And they it's like an old timey like a coal mine union versus the National Guard kind of situation.
Yeah. I was like looking, I'm like, because you know, houses so goddamn expensive, right? And I was like, and I was like looking, I'm like, I could probably wonder if I could get like a trailer park, like live there. I'm like, that's. I look, I'm like, I can't afford that even. Shit's so
it's
fucking
insane.
goddamn expensive in San Diego. I'm like, yeah, there's trailer parks around
We're
here.
all gonna have to band together. We should get like a group. I don't know. I think we should do communal living.
Yeah.
We should get a good group of people together. And then we can live communally and play your Switch.
Yeah. And use your computer for
Use
things.
your computer and your editing skills, and of course my leadership skills. You gotta have a good crew, and it's like your crew is just people with stuff that you can use.
That's all you.
Yeah. I'm putting together a team, and it's like your friend.
You look at it.
he has a PlayStation 5. He has a Switch. He has a truck.
Yeah, you're like,
He has a girlfriend.
yeah. He has a job.
Yeah.
You're paying all the rent, bud.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Me, I'm the leader. I don't pay rent.
What I do is I communicate effectively.
How is the trash going to get taken out if I don't tell somebody to do it?
Yeah. I inspire devotion in the hearts of my men.
Just the trash pile, you put one on top of it, and I'm like, all right, Georgie, you got to take out the trash.
Yeah, great effort, great teamwork today.
Teamwork, everybody.
All right, hit the showers.
Yeah.
Actually, I get to shower first.
And you use all the towels.
Yeah, I use all the towels of my balls.
Yeah.
My massive balls.
All right.
Let's wrap it up. All right, thank you guys for listening to another episode. You can follow me on Instagram and the artist formerly known as Twitter at Austin_Train. And you can follow Brian into the Kursk Oblast as he volunteers to be for the Ukrainian army.
Yeah.
To be cannon fodder. Oh, that's what I was thinking. I was trying to think of cannon fodder. Did you know that Ukraine, right, they were losing and then they invaded Russia? So I don't understand how that works. It's like you're being invaded and then you can just invade them.
Yeah.
Whatever. You're looking at me with these.
I like it. So like
These
Uno
dull eyes.
just
Like,
dead
wait,
eyes.
which episode of Seinfeld is that?
Just running.
Yeah. What if George got a job for Putin?
He got a job in Ukraine. Like, what if we invade them?
Yeah.
He just Uno reverse card.
Yeah. Russian tanks come over and he's like, wait, hit him with the Uno reverse card, Jerry. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
See ya. Bye.